So the tactics will be discussed. What do you think's being chatted about in that huddle there, Vim? Is it got to do with the conditions, the way they've got to play? They're going to be with the wind, so to speak, in the second half of Paarl Gimnasium.
I'll definitely think the coach will be saying continue up front the way they're playing. They're dominating at the moment. Maintain possession, get some territory, and keep Waterkloof pinned down in their half and convert pressure into points.
Well, that seems a very logical thing, I guess, and it's all down to execution, really. The players make sure. There's a try scorer there, Ryan Westhuizen, or one of the try scorers, and then Grant Amanus, the fullback, was the other one. Green. And it'll be White Murphy who'll be starting the second half after the whistle from Talon Shakaza. I think there'll be a big ask of Waterkloof, the Waterkloof packer forwards in the second half, to really just up their game as much as they can. And I suppose in size they are somewhat outnumbered, so to speak. De Beer. It's a fairly easy catch that for Grant Amanus, the long pass from him to Rikus Botma. So that ball was lost forward. You've got to be very careful. If you're in front of the ball, the man who's knocked that ball on, if you pick it up or touch it, you're in an offside position. So it's question time here for Waterkloof. De Beer's having a look at goal. This is a very long way out. Is he going to have a bash at it? He's going to have a dip at it. This will be a really, really good kick if he gets it over, because the breeze is straight into him.
There's a knock on, and the hooker coming in. Very tight situation there, but the ref judging him, and the hooker number 2, Wilna Conradi, to be in an offsides position.
Yeah, I think Wilna Conradi will feel a little bit done by there.
It was definitely a dog's head.
Short run up for Tennis De Beer. Can he get the distance? So pretty short then is Tennis De Beer.
Not an easy kick, especially being a bit wet underfoot and kicking into a slight breeze.
Yeah, because I think White Murphy's going to try and use that breeze with a deep kick downfield. Fielded by Tennis De Beer, his opposite number. A run through there from Phillips. That's better play this from Waterkloof. They've got some good forward momentum. The big question is they don't want to play from too deep. You've got to get a little bit closer with a wet ball too. You don't want big, long, speculative passes. But it's been taken away.
Release!
A bit of pickpocketing there from the forwards of Paarl Gimnasium. Hermanus's pass. Chip downfield from Pierre de Klerk, rather from Leonel Gous.
Back! Keep coming
That's
back.
not a very good kick, that from Waterkloof. Cilliers. You see, it's another penalty. The pressure's starting to tell a little bit on Waterkloof right now. And I just wonder if Rikus Botma will kick at goal here. It would make sense. That's Sean Joyce in picture there. The two Joyces playing at number 6 and 7 for Waterkloof, David and Sean.
Number 6 blue, Sean Joyce, going off his feet there and slowing the ball down at the ruck, and that's why the penalty was given against him. White Murphy with the opportunity to put 3 points on the board for his school.
I was chatting to his dad last weekend. Asked him about his name, Wyatt. And I'll tell you about that right now. Let's just see if he can get this accurately, get it straight. Super kick that. And first blood then to Paarl Gimnasium in the second half. And his father said to me that he was unnamed for 6 months. They didn't know what to call him. And eventually it hit him one night when he was watching a Western with Wyatt Earp. That had to be his name. So that's where it comes from.
All of your feet.
Waterkloof going off their feet. That's another thing as well. You know, that's tricky in wet conditions. Is you've got to make sure you stay on your feet.
It is very...
Rock over and get pushed from behind. But it seems to me like you guys are intentionally throwing the ball every rock that they have. It's falling their ball. Okay? Let's work hard on that. Stay on your feet.
Waterkloof there, going off their feet again. They're going to have to up their discipline, otherwise the referee's going to lose his patience and a yellow card might come out of the pocket. You see going right over and getting done for the penalty. They're going to have to up their discipline.
J.D. Schickeling, a really great master of the art of line-out work, line-out jumping. Besides his height, he's got seems to have such good technique. I'm sure that Wim Visser would be able to be better qualified than me to talk on that, but he looks like the potential next Andries Becker.
Well, I've been really impressed with the Paarl Gimnasium lineouts. It's worked really well. They've supplied some quality ball for their backs.
Drop, green!
The Minus has kicked Tennis de Beer well positioned.
Back, back.
As we said, there could be a lot more kicking in this match than you might have expected on a dry day.
Fall back, two!
Aerial ping pong it's called. It's better play. You see, when you've actually got the continuity of those little passes and you've got someone coming at pace, you can get in behind the defenders. That's been Waterkloof's difficulty, because they haven't got past that line of defense. Short, a little instep there from Wilby Grunter, but there's a knock on. So again, perhaps undoing a lot of good work there, Waterkloof.
Doing a lot of hard yards, Waterkloof there. Getting the ball offloaded in the tackle and getting over the advantage. Unfortunately, right at the end, making a little handling error and a knock on. So the scrum will be for Paarl Gim.
So we understand there's some changes with Werner Rousseau coming on for Lando Greiling.
Fine. Scrum.
And that's of course in the Waterkloof side.
Stay down.
Botma, Brendan Nell, that's gone into space now. Which way does this bounce? Favorably enough for Waterkloof. And their fullback Marcel Smit, who's had very little to do today, interestingly enough. Hermanus, that's a huge kick. Brilliant kick that from Grant Hermanus, but the quick take from Waterkloof. Their players not getting back to support the ball carrier. Too many players just standing around in the middle of the field. Now that should have been won that by Waterkloof, because they had everything going for them, but it's been turned over. Seems like turned over once again. So back with Waterkloof. De Beer, Gunter, Dewald Lindicke as part of the mix, and Tennis de Beer couldn't hold on to it. Now the kick downfield. Oh, I tell you what, we could have seen an interesting race there. Seven points in it. So Waterkloof are mindful of the fact that they haven't scored a try. Just 2 penalties from that man in picture. See the players warming up at the back as well, just staying warm. Of course, the next game, there are games going on in the B field here as well, just behind us. There's confirmation of the replacement then. So Werner Rousseau on for Greiling. That's a much better scrum that from Waterkloof. Forwards just rumbling up, but that ball bobbing around somewhat, so I think it might have been 2 knock-ons.
First knock by blue, second by green.
Unfortunately, the Waterkloof, they're not maintaining their possession and not able to create a bit of phase play to put pressure on the Paarl Gym side at the moment. But the lock forward, they're going in quite an upright position, and that's why he lost control of the ball. Scrum down, it will be Paarl Gym ball.
If you have a look at your screen and you see it reads there 39-51, that doesn't mean that we're just about due to finish the first half, because it's 30 minutes each way, and then of course the time is added on as compared to what we used to. You just add on to the 30, and at 60 it'll be closed off. So lots of men from the Brains Trust, sponsors, headmasters, coaches, you name it. It's a strong tackle that from Jacques Vermeulen on David Joyce.
He did well to keep the ball here, but it all started from a much better scrum from Waterkloof, which enabled them to get over the advantage line, but unfortunately right at the end making a little handling error and knocking the ball on.
Fine. Scrum.
Brendan Nell this time defending close to his goal line. Pick up from Botma, but he's thumped to the deck there by Waterkloof. We've picked it up, now they've got a chance. Can they get a try yet? Change of direction and not enough support there for Werner Verree.
Please.
So De Beer's done the right thing, just taking it down, setting up the next phase of play. Can they breach this powerful defense of Paarl Gimnasium?
The ball.
They want to bring that ball down as well.
There's the ball. That's it.
A long pass from Phillips, and then the run around there from Tinus de Beer. He has a chance for them, and very, very tight. Oh, I tell you, Piet de Klerk has got a fair set of jet shoes, but not enough space to move in.
Jeepers, he looks nippy. Unfortunately, didn't have enough space there. Well defended by Paarl Gym in the corner. Great tackle by number 11, Fairbridge.
They tried to do the right thing by keeping the ball in play as well. That was the run around. Couldn't get his pass in.
Couldn't get his pass through the tackle there, unfortunately.
Well, you spoke about their scrum and being solid the last time round. Waterkloof rather, but they don't have the put in here. But it's pressure, it's right in the corner too.
Well, they've had 2 good scrums in a row now, one on their ball and one on where they forced the turnover on Paarl Gym's ball. So they've really upped it in the last couple of minutes. Let's see what happens in this scrum.
Coach.
Again, it's pressure for Brendan Nell. He'll be looking to Rikus Botma at number 8 to help cushion things for him. Provide him with the opportunity of getting it out. Carry up from Westhuizen. This is brilliant play, this from the centre, the inside centre. He's the man that scored the second try. Schickeling. What I really like about Schickeling is the number 5 as well, is his work rate and how much he does outside of his primary duties on the field. Carries the ball well. Penalty advantage as when Fasaki's kick goes into touch, so they'll come back for the penalty. And Waterkloof have a player down at the moment.
I have to agree with you, Kevin. He's got an excellent work rate, Schickling. He's very good in the lineouts. He's carrying the ball well at the moment. He's been really impressive during this game.
Also makes his fair share of tackles as well.
Yes. Looked a bit of like a high tackle there. But here, penalty going because coming from the side and pulling the scrum off him.
So it's sub-time. Players coming on and off the field. Of course, it's a grueling tournament, this in many ways. We played 2 games in 3 days. Puts a lot of pressure on you.
Roll away!
It's been a while since Paarl Gimnasium have got into the half of the field here for
The ball down.
an opportunity.
He had his first goal. He stayed on his hands, not supporting his weight. I've spoken to you guys about this. You're going to have to go to the pocket. Thanks, you off.
Well, we mentioned that a little bit earlier, that pockets could come. Was that David Joyce who's been sent off with a yellow card? So disappointing this for Waterkloof. And I think that's a super kick, that as well, because they sense Paarl Gimnasium now. They're up against 7 men. There's just been a replacement as well with Werner Fourie off the field.
Well, not releasing, not on his feet. And the referee, Tyler Nshakaza, now losing his patience and giving a yellow card to Joyce.
Difficult to defend with 7 forwards as Waterkloof are finding out, and over goes Rikus Botma. Did he get it down? No, it was held up. So that's great play that from the Pretoria side.
Leave it.
I think Rikus Botma is perhaps a little bit bemused by the referee's decision. He maybe felt he got it down.
Great body positions. Oh, it looks like he didn't.
Well, the ref was right on the spot and he's made his call, and it seems like it's the correct one. Scrum 5 attacking team's ball, so they have a chance again, do Paarl Gimnasium.
Remember, Waterkloof have got 7 on the field at the moment because they've got a yellow card, so this is a big scrum.
Murphy trying to find a little bit of space. He's presented the ball well. Carried up on Momsen. He's just got to push that ball against the upright. That's all you've got to do to score a try. But it's the dummy from Brendan Nell that gets the 3rd try for Paarl Gimnasium.
About 15, 14 left, yeah. We've played 17 at the moment.
Well, it all started from a good build-up. Brendan now showing quick little dummy, showing good feet and diving over for a fantastic try right under the poles, which will make it a really easy conversion for Wyatt Murphy.
Yeah, this should just be a little popover from slap in front. And, well, that lead stretches to 14 points. Good play that by the little scrum half. Players falling for his dummy. A cardinal sin, that is, on the rugby field.
What's important is Paarl Gim showing good patience, maintaining possession. Quick little dummy there and whoops over. Great try.
First knock.
Well, we've seen a number of knock-ons in this match that both teams will not be proud of. Nevertheless, we know the weather conditions are tricky. Knock-on from Johan Momsen.
Yeah, you can't really blame them. It is difficult out there. It's windy. It did rain early on. It's wet underfoot. Ball's greasy. So that allows for a few handling errors, I'm sure.
It wasn't Johan Momsen, it was Wilna Corradi. Perhaps more with the knock-on there. De Beer. So one of our replacements on. It looks like Sion Smit who's on as well. De Beer. This is the other replacement, Jandre Micha. Absolutely no way through there for Wilbri Gunter. De Beer brought down, unceremoniously dumped there by Versaghi. De Klerk just keeping that ball in field. Good play by him, by the right winger. It's set in motion something here for Waterkloof, who really probably feel they need to score very soon. Good setup by Gunter. Just straightened the line as well. Just somehow at times as well, I fancy that for Waterkloof, it's a bit scrappy when the ball comes out. It's not always clean possession, delayed somewhat.
Yeah, it is a bit scrappy every now and again. But what I'm very impressed at the moment is the line speed of Paarl Gim in defence. If you look at their organisation, they're giving no room to Waterkloof to move.
And Waterkloof, once again, attacking from fairly deep. They haven't really used their forwards to drive it up from those rucks. They very often look to try and ignite their back line. And it has been from depth. This is a little bit better. De Klerk with a little pop pass. Now he's got to put his head down and get his body position low. Dierwald Lindekie, but pushed out on the corner. Perhaps a little upright going into that attempted score.
Looked like he almost hesitated as he got the ball. Let's have a look here. Had a look up and then had a great cover tackle in the end there.
It was a great cover tackle, and it was a very close to a try being scored. So good play that by the outside centre for Waterkloof. Confidence to throw to the back there for Botma by Milner Conradi. It's a little bit of relief.
Well, it's a line-out for Waterkloof. They've battled the whole game with it, with their line-out position. Hopefully now they can do something and get a quality ball for their back line and try to score a try with 9 minutes left in this game.
Well, they had an opportunity, but they've gone and knocked it on, but it wasn't in straight anyway, so Paarl Gimnasium will take the scrum.
Options, scrum.
Really,
Substitution.
There's another replacement coming onto the field. It's Gareth Cilliers who's going off.
Here's the mark.
got to take your hat off to Paarl Gim, even with their lineouts, even in defensive situations. They've contested everything in the air, and that puts immense pressure on the opposition, puts pressure on the opposition hooker, on the jumpers, and they've absolutely dominated at lineout time during this game.
Fine. Scrum.
Line-out domination, but their scrum stood well as well when it's needed to. Westhuizen looking to clean up. Very productive centre three-quarter. Most impressive player. Well, it's a little difficult to hold your feet sometimes as well on a greasy field. And Riviel Goos's kick has gone directly into touch. So they'll come back for the line-out from where he kicked it, which is around the 10-metre line.
Direct.
He hasn't really had opportunities, the right winger in picture.
Unfortunately, that little chip kick coming off the side of his boot and going directly into touch.
This time they go short to Waterkloof, and that's worked for them. The lineouts have not been great. De Beer. Pop pass to Gunter, who's being used to carry that ball downfield. That's not a good kick at all. Easy for Hermanus.
Call the mark over there, you can't take it, yeah. It's down there.
Wasn't taken from the right spot, so they'll have to go back to find that position. And the element of surprise is taken away for Grant Hermanus.
Behind him.
He hasn't kicked that out. Maybe he didn't intend to. Still, it's tough this for Waterkloof with their 14 players and fighting gamely. Bearing in mind David Joyce is off the field with a yellow card.
He's through.
Big, strong battle up front. Now look how deep they are here. This time looking for a run around.
On the ground, Sarah.
Somehow they've managed to hold on to it, I think. No, it's been turned over. Strong counter-rucking from Paarl Gimnasium. And Paarl Gim will win a penalty for offside. It was Justin Phillips, I think, who came round the side.
Yeah.
Looks like it, yes. But it was important what you say there, Gavin. They had a ruck about 5 meters from the halfway line, and they ended up getting tackled almost on their 22. So they're playing very deep at the moment, and like I said before, the line speed of Paarl Gim is very good. They're actually getting over the advantage line, and not allowing Waterkloof to get over the advantage line. They're tackling them behind all the time, and that puts pressure on the support. Let's see what happens with this line out.
Yeah, watch the drive here. Surely another try. Yes, it is. They just couldn't, with 7 players, compete, Waterkloof, against a very efficient line out and an excellent driving machine.
Looks like the try went there to Rikus Botma. Good try. Good take. Firstly, it starts with winning the line out with 2 hands. Good body positions. Ball at the back of the maul and going over for a fantastic try. Starts with a good throw, good take. Well done. Fantastic. But what's important is that ball gets transferred back to the back of the maul quickly, and the big number 8, Rikus, gets a fantastic try for his school.
And if there were bonus points on offer, that's 4 tries. They would have acquired a bonus point. So he's had a couple from up front, White Murphy. Now he's got one from fairly wide out. No problem with the distance. And a super kick from Murphy. Well, that's really pushed things up to 29-6.
Great conversion by Murphy.
There's the carry up and the finish from Botma.
Great control, great finish.
Yeah, it really worked well, that. One of the replacements on is Walter Smith. He played fly-off for them last week against Otanikwa.
1 second.
They've got a very good replacement bench at Paarl Gim. And they just really churn out the players, don't they? Current Springbok captain, Jean de Villiers, who went to that school as well. Skalk Burger, can actually name them over the years.
No advantage, yes, lost forward. It's still in the line, so everyone on 15. We're looking at turn off. Crouch! Gents, you should have your own gaps if you...
We spoke about Jean de Villiers and Skalk Burger. And not to forget another big lock forward, Quibus Visser, whose nephew was actually in the Paarl Gimnasium squad. So lots of rugby tradition over those many years. This man really has been impressive, J.D. Schickeling. Carries the ball like a flank quite often as well. This is Vermeulen. He is a flank forward. So a lot more possession perhaps coming the way of Paarl Gimnasium, which has opened things up for them. Also having been able to play with an added advantage of an extra man, or we should rather say Monument with one less. Some good efforts there as well from, there's Tristan Nell, who's on the field too. Some fresh legs.
7, 6 and 3.
So after this match then, we have a full day of rugby here, and it'll be Deer Muntveld up against Eche Janssen in this Wildeklawer Super Schools Festival down here at Goldstones, Maritzburg College in Pietermaritzburg. There's another pile of changes. There's another one who's on as well. In Jaco Willemse. I think I saw Zander de Coco on as well. So changes being rung now, bearing in mind that we're only playing 30 minutes each way, so the game pretty much just about over. Schikkeling, once again, a difficult man to bring down. So Brendan Nel it is who's shoveled into touch. Perhaps one last gasp here for Waterkloof. Again, they employ the short line out, which has been the most effective for them today in a day of line out disappointments for the Pretoria school. Downfield from Tinus de Beer, but straight to Wyatt Murphy. That's good play this from Murphy. He's moved into the fullback position there. He's a multi-talented player. In fact, they have quite a number of all-rounders to Paarl Gimnasium. Guys who can play in various positions.
Step, 10.
Monument now, Waterkloof. That's much good positive play from them. I think they'd dearly like to score a try today if they could. It's just those two penalties from De Beer in the first half that have provided them with their 6 points. De Beer. Downfield there from Gunther to Lindeke. And Piet de Klerk, who's tired of standing idle on the right wing, has moved to the left to try and get an opportunity. That's a smart little break that from Brendan Nel. One of the key things there too is just look, it's front foot ball for everybody with this little bit of extra space that they're making. That's where Waterkloof have let themselves down. They haven't managed to get in behind the Paarl Gimnasium defense. Again, good work from Oosthuizen. Just look how quickly that ball was cleaned out. There's a chance now for Grant Amanis. And he's already scored one. He scored the first try of the match, and he's going to complete it with the last.
Well, it definitely looked on the cards that Paarl Gim would be in for another try well into overtime. 2 minutes in the 62nd minute. Remember, we're playing 60 minutes running time for Festival Rugby, but it was a good build-up, good hands, and going in for his second try, number 15, Grant Hermanus.
Excellent play that by the fullback, and what a way to finish this game too. This has been a very solid effort, this from Paarl Gimnasium. Wyatt Murphy with the last kick. So the last kick, this will be the last kick of the match. And no problem for the fly half. And there we have the final whistle from Talo Shikaza. There's J.D. Schikkeling. And that team, Paarl Gimnasium, will be very happy with their performance, as will be their coach, Christoph Lotte. It's 34 points to 6. But the most important thing is they scored 5 tries without reply. I think that says a lot too for this team that I think are currently ranked number 3 in South Africa, Paarl Gimnasium. So there's confirmation then of the scoreline with 34 points to 6.